Do you think you're a millionaire just because you own an expensive home? What if I told you that over 70% of millionaires in the US don't actually have $1 million in real usable money, just on paper? The truth is, your house might be holding you back financially, not setting you free. Stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you what real wealth looks like and how to break free from the millionaire illusion once and for all. You might think you're a millionaire, but what if that number is lying to you? Most people calculate their net worth like this: home value, $800,000, retirement account, 401k, $100,000, savings, $20,000. Boom, millionaire, right? Not so fast. That house you're counting on. It doesn't pay your bills, it doesn't generate income, it just sits there. And unless you sell it or borrow against it, that money is locked up. What if you lose your job? Will your home's value save you? You could be living in $1 million house and still struggling to afford groceries. This is the millionaire illusion. People who look rich on paper, but don't have real freedom in their everyday lives. Let's get straight to the point. Your house is not an investment, at least not while you live in it. Sure, it might go up in value over time, but it doesn't generate income, it doesn't pay your bills, and it definitely won't help you retire early. In fact, it does the opposite. It takes money out of your pocket, every single month. You're paying for property taxes, which keep going up, by the way, homeowners insurance, constant maintenance, mortgage interest, unexpected repairs, like when the AC breaks in a Florida summer. Ever notice that the biggest expense for most Americans is their own house? And here's a truth most people don't like to hear. Open quote, if it doesn't put money in your pocket, it's not an asset. It's a liability. Robert Kiyosaki, close quote. This is basic financial education, but most people were never taught how this game works. Studies show that over 70% of American millionaires have the majority of their net worth tied up in their primary residence. That means on paper, they look rich, but in reality, they're just living inside their bank vault. And guess what? You can't pay bills with drywall. You can't put food on the table with roof shingles. Like people say, you can't eat bricks. You can't retire sitting on a porch. Sounds obvious, right? But it's a mistake millions of people make every year. Want a real example? Meet Bill. He lives in a suburb near Austin, Texas. Bought his house in 2005 for $300,000. Today it's worth $850,000. He thinks he's a genius. I'm practically a millionaire. But here's the catch. He only has $40,000 invested. The rest? It's all locked up in wood, concrete, and memories. If he lost his job tomorrow, how long could he last without selling the house? That's the big mistake. Relying on home appreciation as a retirement plan. Because if your financial freedom depends on selling your house someday, you're not free, you're trapped. Trapped by the market. Trapped by the idea that a non-producing asset will one day save you. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even sell their house when they retire. They just keep living in it. So all that wealth, it never becomes real money, never turns into cash flow, never leads to true freedom. When you think of an American millionaire, what comes to mind? Maybe someone driving a Tesla, living in a Beverly Hills mansion and rocking a gold Rolex, right? But what if I told you, real millionaires don't look like that. They don't flash wealth. They live with freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom from stress. They don't brag about their 5-bedroom home. They brag about being able to stop working tomorrow and still have money coming in. Millionaire next door. In a classic study called The Millionaire Next Door, authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko studied the lifestyle of American millionaires. And guess what they found? Most of them don't show off. They live in regular houses, drive used cars, shop at Costco. While many people are busy looking rich, these folks are busy getting rich. So what do they do differently? Instead of tying all their net worth into one big house, they build income-generating assets like dividend-paying stocks, like Johnson & Johnson or Coca-Cola, rental properties, single-family homes or duplexes, index funds like the S&P 500 via VOO or VTI, online businesses that make money while they sleep, royalties from books, music or patents, REITs, real estate investment trusts. These assets put money in your pocket without having to sell anything. And that's the difference. As Warren Buffett once said, open quote, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die." Close quote. Did you know that almost 50% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without using a credit card? That came from a recent Federal Reserve study. Now think about it. These people have homes. Many have good jobs, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they lack cash flow, liquidity, real income-producing assets. Real millionaires understand something most people don't. Open quote, "You don't measure wealth by the size of your house, you measure it by how many days you can live without working." Close quote. Let me introduce you to Lisa. She lives in Ohio, drives a 2015 Corolla, barely posts on Instagram, but here's what she does have. 300,000 in ETFs, a duplex she rents on Airbnb, a food blog that makes $1,500 a month in affiliate income, and Tuesdays off because she chose to work only 4 days a week. She doesn't look rich, but she's free. Real millionaires think differently. They don't chase luxury, they chase freedom. They don't buy big homes, they buy assets, the kind that pay the bills today, tomorrow, and when they decide to stop working. Let's talk about one of the most common financial traps in America. Have you ever heard the term house poor? You might be living it and not even realize it. The harsh truth about being house poor. House poor means you've got the beautiful home, remodeled kitchen, granite countertops, nice wooden deck in the backyard, but you've got almost nothing in the bank. You're stuck with a huge mortgage, and every month you're paying for loan payments, utility bills, constant repairs, property taxes that keep going up. And what's left at the end of the month? Nothing. No emergency fund, no investments, no freedom. According to a Bankrate study, 72% of US homeowners say they feel financially stressed by the cost of owning a home. And yet, people still believe that buying a big house equals success. We live in a country where appearance matters more than your bank account. Someone with a $600,000 house could be broke. Meanwhile, someone renting an apartment but investing in stocks and REITs might be completely debt-free, with passive income rolling in every month. Social media, Instagram culture, and shows like Selling Sunset or $1 Million Listing make you think wealth equals luxury real estate. But that's the illusion of wealth. A lot of Americans say, one day I'll sell this house and use the money to retire. But here's the trap. Most people don't sell their house when they retire. They want to keep the comfort, the neighborhood, the memories. So what happens? You retire on paper, but all your wealth is locked away. No cash flow, no freedom. You end up still working. How to escape the house poor life. Shift your mindset. Your house is a home, not an investment. If it doesn't pay you in dividends, rent, or royalties, it's draining your money. Know your real net worth. Subtract your home value and see what's left. That's your true financial power. Put your money into income-generating assets. For example, investing just $500 a month into a fund like VOO or VTI starting at age 25 with an 8% return could grow to over $1.2 million by age 65. Don't rely on your home as your retirement plan. You need income, not locked-up equity. Meet Mike, 43, from Austin, Texas. He lived in a $750,000 home. On the outside, he looked successful, but behind closed doors, no investments, living on overdraft, constant stress. One day, he sold the house, rented a smaller apartment, and invested $200,000 of home equity. Today, Mike earns over $1,000 a month from dividends and rental income. And you know what he said? Open quote, "It was the first time I felt truly rich, because I finally stopped working just to pay for a roof." Close quote. Freedom doesn't come from the house you live in. It comes from the money working for you, even while you sleep. It's not about looking good. It's about living well, with no debt, with smart investments, with peace of mind. Let's be honest. Are you really a millionaire, or just someone with an expensive house and a mortgage that keeps you up at night? In America, it's common to hear, "My house is worth $1 million. That means I'm rich." But here's the harsh truth. If your freedom depends on the value of your home, you're not free. You're trapped in bricks and drywall. According to a Federal Reserve study, most Americans with a net worth over $1 million include the value of their primary residence. Now think about this. If you sold your house tomorrow, where would you live? Would you use that money to survive, or just buy another home? In reality, you'd be in the exact same position. The so-called American dream used to be, open quote, buy a house, work hard, retire in peace, close quote. But in 2024, that dream is broken. Housing costs are up 43% in the last decade. The median home price in the US is now over $430,000. Millions of homeowners are stressed, even though they own their home. You might look rich on Instagram, but if you don't have assets making money while you sleep, you're just running on a treadmill that looks like success. Wealth isn't a 5-bedroom house with a heated pool. Wealth is saying no to a toxic boss, having time for your health and your family, not panicking when your car breaks down, sleeping peacefully knowing your money is working for you. Real wealth isn't about appearances, it's about control, freedom, peace of mind. So grab a piece of paper or open your notes app and answer these. 1. How many income-generating assets do you own? 2. What's your net worth without including your house? 3. If you stopped working today, how long could you survive? If those answers made you uncomfortable, that discomfort is a gift. It's a wake-up call. Because now, you can change. Meet Sarah, 51, from New Jersey. She owned a beautiful home worth $900,000. She told everyone she was a millionaire. But then she lost her job and realized nothing in the bank, nothing invested, nothing coming in it. She had to sell the house just to survive. And guess what? The money was gone in 3 years. Today, Sarah rents a small apartment and is rebuilding, this time by creating real assets. She says, open quote, I was rich on paper. Now I'm focused on being rich in real life. Close quote. The goal isn't to look like a millionaire. The goal is to have money coming in while you sleep. To be free, not just put together on the outside. Wealth is when your time belongs to you, when you decide how to live every day without asking anyone's permission. If this video made you rethink everything you've been told about money, then it's time to take action. Like the video, subscribe to the channel Next Level Money, and share it with that friend who thinks they're rich, but might just have a paid-off house and an empty wallet. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't status, the goal is freedom.